Greetings from Battery Park in New York City. This is this week's Weekly Wandering. I want to thank my cameraman this week, Steve. I actually don't have to get up and turn it on and turn it off. So, hi, Steve. So this week I want you guys to focus on a new text from James chapter 1, the 19th chapter. And I want to, I have that one memorized because it's one that I have sort of as a life verse, although I'm still learning it. So James 1:19 is basically, be slow to speak, slow to get angry, and quick to listen. And it's definitely one that I have come to understand and try to learn more about. Not mastered it yet, but it's one I'm learning about. So yesterday, Steve and I took Justin to college at Hofstra University on Long Island, New York. And it was tough, but not as bad as we thought it was going to be. But last night, I had a phone call from our youngest son, Ryan, who was homesick for his brother. Yes, Ryan's at home and Justin's away, but Ryan was homesick for him. And I realized after I got off the phone with Ryan that there was nothing I could do for him except one thing, and that was to listen to him. There was nothing I could say or nothing I could do, and certainly from the distance where I was, that I could do to help him. And so it sort of made me think about James 1:19, and it made me think about the relationships that we have. Sometimes in the relationships that we have together, we're too often willing to speak up instead of just listen. And even more, I find very often, we're too quick to get angry by what is being said, and then our anger makes us say things that we end up regretting. So I think the scripture that we have, the life lesson from James, is so important to us, that we are to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. So a little bit ago, Steve and I walked to Battery Park from the new World Trade Center Memorial and took some pictures I'm hoping to put together into some kind of a montage video. We'll see how good I am with that. But being at that place and walking by Trinity Church, sorry for the helicopter there, we'll let him go by. Anyway, being by Trinity Church and being by the World Trade Center just reminded me of how important this James verse really is. See, we live in a very diverse country, and I'm so thankful for that. We live in a country where people worship in many different ways, right? They call God different things, but ultimately I believe we all worship the same God. And some people don't worship at all, but we all bring our diversity together, and we have one unity. And what makes me so sad and what I really long for is that unity that we could find again. But it won't happen unless you and I as believers take this scripture from James seriously, which is, again, be slow to speak, slow to get angry, and quick to listen. We'll never get to know our neighbors or our friends in deeper ways if we're the one talking all the time and not listening. And yes, it's very difficult for me sometimes, believe me, to just shut my mouth and listen. Like I said, I haven't mastered this verse, but I keep trying. So last week, your verse that you were supposed to be thinking about, your challenge, was from Psalm 46:10. Be still, be silent, and know that God is God. I hope you had an opportunity each day to think about that verse and really just sit in stillness with God. This week, your challenge is to take this verse, James 1:19, and live it out in your workplace, in your school, in your social group, and probably, most importantly, in your families. I know as a parent, I'm so quick to speak when my kids start telling me something. I even interrupt them, and I don't want to do that. I really want to work hard at that. So this week, I'm going to challenge myself and all of you. We are going to practice together James 1:19. Be slow to speak, slow to get angry, and quick to listen. God bless you, everybody. Have a great day, a great week, and thanks for listening. Live from New York, it's Weekly Wanderings.